I've seen a lot of people talking about how they want to tie hack to virus. I've seen a lot of YouTubers make a couple videos on it. I've seen a lot of forum posts about it. I've seen a lot of comments, whatever. A lot of people are talking about it as a way to like temporarily like fix Sombra to make her a little bit more have a little bit of a higher skill ceiling. Requiring her to hit skill shots to hack people. And on paper, it really sounds good. It really sounds like a really good idea. Making it like it so it's not just like holding right click and then, oh, somebody's hacked. Bada bing, they're locked out of their abilities. Instead of that, you actually have to like hit a skill shot. And on paper, it sounds good. It sounds like a really good change. It sounds really like pretty good. And although it will alleviate some problems with Sombra, like it'll be a lot harder to hack Moira out of her ultimate. It'll be a lot harder to hack Sigma out of his ultimate. Like, how easy it is to shut down a Sigma with Sombra? Like, super easy. But it also caused a lot more problems. It'll cause a lot more. And I think it's being really overlooked. I just wanted to make a video on it. So, one of the first reasons why I don't think this change will be good is, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm starting with, like, the minor ones that don't really matter too much of why the reasons that this won't be good. And the first minor reason is that the Sombra's mains don't actually like it. Most Sombra mains, what I've seen, I've been on the Sombra mains community forums for a little bit, don't actually like that change. I know what you're thinking. Who the hell cares? I know. I mean, they don't really get a say. They can do whatever they want, but they don't get a say. It's not like it's their character or anything. Just because they play the character doesn't mean that they get a say. In all seriousness, they don't like the change, and you have to have a middle ground with them. At least a middle ground where some of them will like it, some of them may not, but some of them will like it, and I think that's kind of the middle ground you got to go with. And if they don't like it, then you should not do the change. Unless it is inherently healthy for the game, you shouldn't do the change then. You're going to lose those players, and I know what most of you are thinking. Good riddance. They're like, don't let the door hit you on your way out. But losing players is never a good thing for the game. And it's never a good state to put yourself into the game. Sombra always should be a good character to pick. She should never be horrible. I mean, very few characters should be horrible. But all characters should have somewhat of a niche or somewhat viability in the game. But I've been beating around the bush a little bit. I'm going to get right into why I think it's a bad change. Right into it. And that's because there's one thing that Hack has right now that makes it less viable. So for any of you that play Sombra, anybody that even touched Sombra, even if you don't play Sombra, you'll know something about Sombra's hack, right? It has a charge up. You can't just hack. That's not how it works. It takes about a second for you to hack somebody. And even then, the hack only lasts 1 second too. So it's like you use a second and you gain a second. Most good Sombras will always tell you it's never worth hacking somebody. You got to be thinking about it like this. Like imagine you're a Sombra, you're engaging in honor, right? You have two options right now. You can rather virus, shoot her in the head, or you can hack, virus, shooter, right? So the reason why you don't hack, virus, shooter is because although it will kill her faster, theoretically it'll kill her faster. Really, we're talking about nanoseconds of difference right now. We're talking about nanoseconds. That's what we're talking about here. And that's if you're missing your shots. If you're hitting all your shots, you're melting her faster than hacking. But the main reason why you virus and hack is because if you are hacking somebody, it takes a second for the hack to go off, right? So that gives 1 second for that Ana to jump away. That gives 1 second for the Ana to turn around. That gives 1 second for the Ana to call out in her comms that she's being hacked. And that gives 1 second for the enemy team to turn around. And that gives 1 second for you to miss your virus. And if you miss your virus, you're cooked. GG. So most Sombras will agree that it's better to come out of stealth against an Ana, right? And virus initially, and then since Ana will be most likely standing still, and most characters will be standing still, it's a free couple of first headshots, no questions asked, and then you move down to body shots unless you're still comfortable with it. Then you go for the head. And the kill time basically remains the same. Ana basically has no reaction whatsoever to it. Sure, she'll try jumping and turning around and calling for her team, but by the time she dies, she'll be dead. And that's the point that you're trying to get across here. So the point is that hacking is not really a viable engagement tool. Hacking is more of a utility. Most Sombras will tell you that they use it for utility. Like if a tank overextends and they're in a good position to hack them, they'll hack them. Somebody using an ultimate, they'll hack them. You're about to do a dive target, like we're all about to dive on it, like we're playing Tracer, Diva, Sombra, we're about to dive in on it all together, hack them to start at that engagement off, just so that Ana does no abilities and gets Alt F4 deleted. But most people will tell you you don't use it for like a backline assassination type. You use it for utility. But the main point that I'm trying to get on right now is that there's a charge up time. When you tie virus to hack, there's not going to be a charge up time. There's going to be no charge up. It's going to be instantaneous. Now, there's two ways to go about that, right? You can make virus do damage and maybe take away her opportunist, or you can keep her opportunist and make it so virus is just a hack. It's just hack 2.0. Does 0 damage, it just hacks people. And even if you do that, where it doesn't do 0 damage whatsoever, because you have opportunists and because you're instantly hacking people, shutting down their abilities while you're engaging them, you're going to have an inherent advantage now. Now, all of a sudden, that Ana's guaranteed to get hacked. And the kill time of that hack is going to be the same exact time where if they just virused and engaged. But what makes it worse is that now Ana's hacked, which means she can't use her bionic grenade, she can't use her sleep, and she's going to get melted by the Sombra. It's going to create an even more toxic environment where anytime Sombra tries for the backline assassination on targets like Ana, it's going to be a lot worse for them. Because now they're just going to get instantly hacked and melted down rather than being virused and shot and have somewhat of wiggle room. Now it's literally just going to be hack. And on top of that, there's going to be no counterplay. Think about you playing Ana, right? You're shooting in the back line. All of a sudden, Sombra comes up behind you, starts shooting you in the back of the head. You're like, oh shit, Sombra's behind me. You turn around to sleep her, you got just hacked right then and there. Boom. Now you're half HP, you're hacked, she's doing more damage to you, you're dead, she disengages, you're free. You didn't even get the sleep off. Doesn't matter how good you are. Furthermore, imagine playing like Doomfist. Doomfist is a great example. Imagine you're playing Doomfist, right? You dive in, right? You punch in, you get in there, your cooldowns are about to be up, your slam's about to be up, you're shooting, you block. What happens before? You know, you're blocking, all of a sudden you just see the hack, right? The hack little thing while you're blocking. So you're like, oh shit, I'm about to get hacked. So then you immediately try diving away, right? Try diving to your backline. And then the hack goes off while you're diving. But you got enough momentum where you get back to your team, right? And you get a disengagement. Sombra doesn't get anything. Well, now if virus hack becomes a thing, there's no reaction to it. You're blocking, you're hacked. No reaction, no time up, no nothing. Blocking, hacked. It's an instant thing. Instant. Bada bing, bada boom. You're hacked. You're done. GG. Like, you're turning virus into a legitimate, just instant hack. Like, the whole problem is, hack is an unhealthy ability for the game. It 100% is. Nobody can argue that. If you tie it to virus, you're going to see more of it. Like, right now, most Sombras will just use virus, and they won't hack too much unless there's an opportunity that they see where hacking is viable. But right now, all of a sudden, they're just going to be hacking over and over again. And it's just going to be inherently unhealthy for the game because everybody's going to be getting hacked constantly. On top of that, opportunist is going to be kicked in, and it's just going to be a horrible change overall because now there's literally no incentive for them not to use hack. Before, the incentive would be you give less time for the enemy to react to you. Now it would be nothing. There's no downside. Just throw it out. You do more damage. And maybe you could nerf her damage a little bit, but then you're really talking about an unplayable character. And even if you do nerf her damage and say, well, we'll just nerf her damage. We'll just keep her to the ground. Well, my brother, that doesn't solve everybody getting hacked. Like, then you're going to have the Roadhog situation where you're playing against the Sombra, and you're like, bro, this fucking sucks. I'm just getting hacked all the time. And then you're playing with the Sombra, and you're like, bro, this fucking sucks. She doesn't do shit. All she does is just hack everybody. Like, you're not going to have any middle ground here. Like, it's going to be inherently unhealthy for the game. And I just think it's a horrible idea. But I want to end this video off on, like, some of my personal notes of how to fix Sombra. And I really don't think there's a good way to do it. I mean, I really don't. I think, like, you could try things. I think how I would fix Sombra, this is how I would fix her. I think permanent invisibility is a good change to get rid of. I think put it on a timer. This is my idea of how to fix her. How to make her fun to play, but make it so she's not permanently visible. I think, first off, you increase the stealth timer to about 7 to 8 seconds. 7 to 8 seconds. We'll go on the high end, we'll say 8 seconds, right? That's number one. Number two, you make it so she can go into stealth without using the translocator. It's bullshit that she could use it, and it's just inherently janky to play. It's not It's not fun. The timing's all off. But here's the thing. I say you make the translocator, maybe make it like a 6-second cooldown. Maybe keep it where it is, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. But here's my thought process of how you fix Sombra, right? I look at Pharah as a way to fix Sombra, right? So I think you have like a meter, like Pharah does with their jetpacks, right? Where it's about 8 seconds worth of stealth, right? That's what it is, 8 seconds worth of stealth. But just like when Pharah uses a jump jet, right? What does jump jet do? It gives her extra boosters. That's what it does. And I think that's something you could apply into Sombra too. I think you make Translocator not make you re-enter stealth or reset the stealth cooldown, but instead, when you throw your Translocator out, it gives you 3 seconds of extra stealth. Just like Pharah boost will give you a couple of extra fuel, I think Translocator could give you a couple of extra seconds in stealth time. Now, of course, like if you're playing Sombra, you're going into the backline, you use up all 8 seconds, you decloak, you shoot somebody, kill somebody, you throw your Translocator, you're only going to have 3, maybe 4 seconds of stealth before you have to recharge it. And I think that's an inherent way where Sombra's not just in your backline the entire time, and it makes it so she has to make some decisions and quick decisions. And it also gives her a little bit back to her old play style, but it nerfs her a little bit too, where she can't just sit back there, and she can't just go back and spawn camp the entire time. I mean, she still could, but any character can, technically. And I know it's not a perfect idea and a perfect solution, but it's just my little idea of how to fix her. At least what I was thinking what to do. If anybody has a better idea that's not trolling and saying just delete her from the game, I'd love to hear it, because this topic kind of fascinates me, where it's talking about like how to make characters more balanced in the game, because it's such a hard thing, it's such a hard solution. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think tying virus to hack is a good idea. I really don't think it is at all. I think it's going to be a horrible idea for the game. I mean, let me know if you think I'm wrong, and let me know why you think I'm wrong, because I would love to maybe dive into it a little bit more and understand maybe why it could be not as bad as I make it out to be.